I am busting out an old art supply, an oldie but a goodie. This is black paper from Legion, and you can use watercolor, gouache, colored pencil, metallics, and even acrylic paint with it. So I thought, you know what, this would be fun. Nice dark paper, super thick, super durable. And it's really cool too because it says on here, it's time to rethink everything. Instead of building up shadows, you build up light. And I thought, you know what, let's think outside the box a little bit today. Let's build up some light, welcome ourselves to a little bit of a challenge. I have not painted on black paper in a really long time, and I would just love to try it again. I think I'm going to use these. These are my Acryla Gouache paints. They're super, super nice. I get questions about this stuff all the time. What is Acryla Gouache like? If you've never used it, it's kind of like acrylic paint had a baby with watercolor, but with Acryla Gouache, it does not reactivate with water. Regular gouache does reactivate with water though. I have a lot of really fun colors, and I thought this would be a really fun thing to use. If you want to read the front of that, you can pause right here. But yeah, I've always been super impressed with Legion's art supplies. I'm not sponsored, by the way. This is just me having fun in the studio. Got some palettes. I don't really know what I'm gonna paint, but get your art supplies out, make some stuff with me, let's chit chat, have some fun. Maybe I will answer some questions that you folks have asked me and do like a mini Q&A later in this video, so stick around for that if you want. I think I'll take a moment to set up the palette. Oh my goodness, I hope I have enough white. Both of these are used up. My past self took care of that. There are so many colors in here. This is awesome. I just love the colors that Holbein Acryla Gouache has, like, my goodness. I think a separate hobby is honestly just looking at art supplies. Does anybody agree with me here? This one is done. I think this is gonna be like the little earthy palette, you know? Got white. Don't come at me. I know I'm using too much gouache here. It's okay. I have a spray bottle to preserve this stuff. All right, we have just about everything we need here. Today's mood. I think I'm just gonna freestyle a bunch of stuff until I get bored because I'm feeling spontaneous, which means you could either see a lot of art in this video or not. I can't tell you because I'm filming the intro before I'm painting. Yeah, let's go. Okay, I think I'm just gonna set these to the side like that. Ooh, I had swatched some metallic paint on this a long time ago. I'm still so impressed with that, wow. So I have some inspiration. Wouldn't it be so fun to do a moth like this? Or even one of these. I saved a bunch of photos for inspo, like this blue one. Kind of hard for you folks to see. There you go. We have to do this. This would be so fun. I just found my ultramarine blue too, so this is perfect. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I think I'm just gonna paint to my heart's content, and then we'll just kind of go from there, you know? Sometimes you just have to follow the mood. I think I'm gonna start having separate paintbrushes for gouache paints and watercolors. I just don't take care of my oils and acrylics enough that this is working. I don't know how this is gonna behave on this paper, and that makes me a little bit nervous, but in a good way. I like that I can use the paper as part of the shadows, so I'm gonna definitely try to do that as much as I can. I think this is a skill I will have to build up over time though. Oh, when this dries, it brightens up a little bit. This is really hard for you folks to see, but as we go, it will get a little easier. Oh, this is fun. I can't wait to build this up as we go. I'm gonna try to outline this butterfly a little bit so you folks can see it better at first. That's a challenge, is filming and getting things to show up well. Let me know in the comments if you've ever painted on black paper before. If you watched my last video, I actually looked through some of my old artwork, and I did a lot of folk art on black paper. So I showed some of it in that video. I'm putting this super light green down along the edges. It's not like a true white because I was afraid of just going in with that at first. This is kind of sweet once your brain adjusts to the fact that you're building up light over dark. At least that's how it is for me. I'm really enjoying this. Part of me has this fear like, oh my goodness, what if this doesn't turn into anything like what I'm expecting? But I have to remind myself I'm usually an optimist when it comes to art, and I'm like, what can I learn from this? You know what I mean? It's not all for nothing, even if it doesn't turn out. But I think I'm gonna be happy with it because I'm just choosing to believe that's what I'm gonna feel, and maybe that will help. Something that I think would be really fun to do while we paint here is to do a Q&A. I have not done one of these in a while, and I actually posted on my YouTube community tab weeks ago asking you folks to ask me questions because I was planning on answering them in a video. And I kind of wanted to do just like a sit down and chat video with this. And let me know if you still want that. It would be like a bonus video. There wouldn't really be art, just answering questions. But I thought I would answer just a couple of them in today's video for funsies. I got 85 questions here. Okay, somebody asked, do you have any art hanging in your house other than your studio that we see on your videos? So I'm actually pretty picky about what I hang in my house. And I might ruffle some feathers by saying this, but I'm somebody who would much rather have empty walls and not know what I want to hang on them than to just fill my walls with a bunch of stuff that I don't feel strongly about. I try to be really intentional with what I bring in my house as far as home decor and stuff goes. So I'm not gonna go like traipsing through Home Goods and just like buy something on a whim and hang it up. That's not really my style. So with that being said, do I hang my own artwork in my house? And the answer to that is actually mostly no. Unless there's something I know I really want on my walls and I can't find it anywhere else, then I'll try to make it. Or if like what I'm imagining is really expensive, then I'll try to make something inspired by it or whatever. But I haven't really done that much in this house. In my bedroom, I have one of my ocean paintings hanging, and then in my living room downstairs, I have that old thrifted piece of wood that I repurposed into like a dark academia moth painting. But my philosophy with hanging my own art in my house is also like, the joy that I get from creating is to spread that artwork to other people. So I don't really like hanging my art in my own house. There's so much art in this world to be enjoyed that I would much rather enjoy somebody else's art on my own walls. And I get it, I might ruffle some feathers by saying that, but I have felt pretty strongly on that for years, and you're probably not gonna see a lot of my own art in my house. I actually still have a lot of really blank walls in my house. I've lived here for 4 years now, and I just don't have everything decorated. And it's because I like to take my time. Oh my goodness, look at these little hairs. I have to remind myself to hold this farther away. I keep holding it near the bristles. Okay, I have this burnt umber here, and I think I'm gonna try to do the antennas with this. They're really dark in the picture, and I don't know how I wanna go about it. Low workstation. We're making some progress. I need to start doing all the little hairs throughout this darker area, and then I might add some more dimension to this fur. Let's see what we can do. Before that, let's find another question. Some of these are art related and some of these are not. I'm just kind of picking ones that stand out to me. How do you balance doing all your art videos, your business, taking care of your kiddos, and all the other things that life brings? This question got a lot of likes, and I feel like I actually answer this question in a lot of Q&As, but I'm here to answer it again. So for those of you who don't know, I have twins. They are 3 years old. I just want to preface this by saying some moms are stay-at-home moms and some moms work. Some moms do a combination of both. I think all of those things are great. Do what fits you and your family's needs. There is no judgment here. This is a safe zone. So I just wanted to preface my answer with that. I do only work part-time. Sophia, my sister-in-law, actually helped me quite a bit with my business and childcare so that I could work. We paid her to do that. She actually just ended with us 2 weeks ago because my kids started school, and that's been a really exciting journey. So I pretty much only work when they're napping or when they're at school. And then I spend the rest of my time with my kids. And it's a really good setup. I like it a lot. I used to work 4 days a week and I dropped down to 3 days a week. Sometimes I work really early in the morning before they wake up too, and that's also really nice. So yeah. I try to be pretty structured with my schedule. I'm like a list person. I make meal plans for the week and all that kind of stuff. And that sort of thing translates into my work life too. I make a lot of lists and goal lists and to-do lists and stuff. And it helps me feel organized and less overwhelmed. So that's another way I stay on top of things. I have a list for video ideas, a list of things that I need to do. Downfall with working part-time now is I don't pack orders as quickly or reply to emails as quickly. So if you do email me for like customer support in my shop, it will take me a little bit longer these days, but pretty much everybody who orders from my shop is like super kind and gracious. So thank you all for that. I really appreciate it more than words can express. Wow, I'm feeling super chatty. If this video is super long, apologies. I hope you're enjoying it though. Wow, adding all the little hairs, so fun. Okay, this question got a lot of likes, so I'm gonna answer it. How do I handle prints and shipping? When I first started out and I made my online store, I started in Etsy and I didn't have a ton of orders back then. But I actually got my own printer, and I was working in a print shop at the time, so that was really helpful. And during that time I got laid off, and I decided, well, I'm gonna really try to learn as much as I can and sell my artwork online more. And I was already doing it a little bit, but I used a Canon Pixma Pro 10 printer. It was iconic back in the day. All the big artists had it, I bought it. No. My husband bought it for me, and we were dating at the time. I should have seen that as some foreshadowing that he was gonna propose. I should have. I printed my own stuff for a long time. As my business grew, I started to weigh the question, do I enjoy printing, and is it worth it taking as much time as it is when I know it's taking time away from creating? That was a question I really had to balance and think about. But printing things honestly made me cry a lot of times, like way more than I want to admit. I just didn't really enjoy it that much. I didn't enjoy figuring out ink issues and when the printer jammed, and it just wasn't worth it to me. So I started outsourcing, and that's been lovely. And the beautiful thing about outsourcing is like, so many towns have print shops, and you can just like Google print shops in your area or whatever, and boom, there's so many to choose from. And as far as other things that I handle with that, so I moved my shop over to Shopify, and that's where I sell all my art and stickers and stuff now, because Etsy fees are ridiculous, and I just don't really feel like they care about small businesses. I think they care about lining their pockets. I feel like that's a bold thing to say on my channel, but I'm gonna say it. That's how I handle prints and shipping. I ship everything in like a rigid mailer unless they order a 3-dimensional object, and then I ship it in a box. I will say, if you want to sell your own prints, it is a lot of trial and error, and a lot of artists have different preferences, so just experiment and find your own, like, what you see your favorite artist online preferring for their prints, you might decide you don't like that. because that's my story. And then I decided to go a different path. My favorite artist at the time enjoyed printing all their stuff, and I didn't, and that's okay. I got to learn from it, and I do think starting out printing your own stuff is really good though, because you learn a lot. It's a really valuable thing to learn if you are going to sell your artwork. But printing your own stuff also has its perks because you can print as the orders come in, whereas if you outsource, you kind of just have to guess how many you're gonna sell, which can be good and can be bad. Some prints I have sell out and I'm like, whoa, and other prints don't, and it's like a flop, and that's all right. Something needs to happen with this part here, this middle part. Not very happy with it, so we're gonna just change some things up. Let's add some spunk now. I'm gonna take this paintbrush and start with this. I'm just gonna be super spontaneous with this one, but I think it's gonna be fun, so bear with me. I'm gonna try to use a larger brush for this one so that I feel brave. We're doing a little frog, but I'm trying to use a bigger brush, and I'm trying to also do a lot of fun colors within it, and we'll see what happens. Something about acrylic gouache makes me feel a lot stiffer than when I use like acrylic paint or oil paint. So it's definitely challenging in that respect. Like, I'm more afraid of making a mistake. It's more of like a mindset thing. I don't know. Do any of you experience that with like certain art supplies and you feel like you have no explanation as to why? Because I love using this art supply, but yeah, I don't know, I just get in that mindset. Okay, that's getting kind of hard to see, so we're gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna make this little froggy's face wider. Part of me just feels tempted to put pink here and there, just, I don't even know. Yes, we're doing it, and I'm loving it. Okay, I just got a really fun idea for this and I have to do it. Reference photo who? I've moved on. The next question, what is your favorite product that you have ever made? Oh, I have a couple. So my very favorite products to make are my yearly mystery boxes, and those come out every fall. I'm working on one right now. I really like those because there's an element of mystery to it, but I also try to give people a lot of value for their money. So there's different things in there. I try to coordinate some of the things to go together, and a lot of thought goes into that throughout the year. It's also something that my returning subscribers can look forward to every year. It's like our thing, our special thing. So I like that, but I also honestly just love making prints because I love to paint. So I know it's not anything riveting, it's a print, but my main job is to be an artist. So of course I'm gonna make prints. Sometimes people will come to me and be like, hey, you should do dish towels and aprons and all these things. And I'm like, yeah, that would be so cool, but I am the only person running my business, and I just don't have the capacity to add tons and tons of items. And to be honest, in this economy, people are just like not buying as much. So to invest in like doing a bunch of cool objects that I've never sold in my shop is kind of a big risk right now. My sales are down. I just don't really have the capacity to develop a ton of new products like notebooks, and there's so many things I would do if I had time, but I also have zero desire to scale up and like hire a bunch of people and stuff. I'm an artist. I just want to make the art, you know? I tried to really like hustle for a couple years and I realized there are other things I'm happier doing in life. So yeah, now this frog is looking creepy, so But prints and stickers are the easiest thing for me to make, and they make the most sense for me because I make art like this. And yeah, they're also my best sellers. Prints and stickers, they've always been my best sellers. One of my favorite things to make around Christmas though is Christmas ornaments, and I started making those in like June this year. So believe me when I say I am ready for the holidays. I already have the video filmed. It is gonna be fun. I tried to work ahead on that because I'm doing a lot more of those ornaments this year since I'm doing art markets. And I took some to an art market last year and they like flew off my table basically. So definitely want to do that again this year. It was really helpful for my small business last year, and yeah, win-win for everybody. Okay, the pink, loving this so much. Little freckly frog, that's what's up. I'm gonna outline these eyes because they are looking so creepy right now, right? Somebody asked me, would you do another needle felting video? The answer to that is yes. I would love to do that once I get more time. All right, this little froggy is kind of living his best life. By the way, all of these things will probably become stickers, but some of these are gonna go in my yearly mystery box. So check back in a couple weeks. Somebody asked me, what oil paints do you use? I've wanted to try oil paints for a while, and I figured you would be the person to ask. Wow, okay, thanks. I just use Winsor & Newton oil paint. I don't really use any additives. I just try to keep it as is. When I first started using oil paints, I actually thinned them out quite a bit with like linseed oil and a bunch of other things. And it took me a while to get the hang of just using the oil paints, but I talked to a painter years ago and asked what they did to get the techniques that they were doing, and they were like, I use oil paint. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, I use oil paint. And so I asked, like, you don't use anything else? And they said no. So I tried it, and you know what? I liked it. I liked it. It took me a while to get the hang of it, as I said, but I liked it a lot. I'm trying to paint just like without fear right now because I know I get all tight with gouache sometimes, especially on a substrate that I don't use super often, which is funny to say because I use this gouache a lot. But yeah, for some reason today I'm just feeling particularly tense. That's the beauty of slowing down and creating, right? Sometimes what you see on the internet can be polished up. Might seem like creating comes easy to people, but I am having a day where I'm just getting in my head a little bit, and I just want to be upfront with you about it. And it's okay. Like, I think it's a normal thing. It's not bad to feel that way, but you let yourself feel it and then it passes, right? Okay, I want to try some fun layers with this. Something that is sweet about painting on black paper, it's making everything feel so vibrant. Like that, I let the black play into it, and then that a little bit less, and then this, I don't really know. I've been doing easier art projects in my videos lately because I've been working on a really big art project that's taking a lot of time. And I'm hoping that it can come out in like 2 weeks from the date that this video goes live, but we'll see. Okay, somebody asked me, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not making art or hiking? LOL, any good shows you like to watch? Good movie suggestions or things that inspire you? Okay, I am a person who has too many hobbies, probably. I just like to do a lot of stuff. I really like traveling when we have the time and money, you know, who doesn't, but another thing I really enjoy is board games. So I play a lot of stuff with my husband. We really like games in this family. So Wingspan, Right now we've been into Terraforming Mars, Scythe, Seven Wonders, Azul, like all the versions of Azul. And yeah, there's just a bunch of other games that we enjoy. So board games for sure. I love cooking for people. It is like my love language to focus on hospitality and welcome people into my house and make them food, especially if they are single and live in an apartment and maybe wouldn't be like making a huge meal and stuff. I love having people over and doing that. I love gardening. I like some video games like Stardew Valley. I've been playing SimCity 4. I love spending time with my family and friends, playing with my kids and doing puzzles and games and stuff with them, doing crafts with my kids, that kind of stuff. One of my favorite things to do this year, this is a new hobby, but it is Pilates. I know that's like a cliche influencer thing, but that is not why I'm doing it. You folks know I don't really like to follow trends. I just do whatever I want, you know? And the reason why I started Pilates was because after I had my kids, I had a really rare femoral nerve injury. So I did physical therapy for like half a year to regain my mobility. And I literally had to like learn how to walk again. So if you weren't here during that time on my channel, now you're caught up. That was like 3 years ago. Pretty challenging time in my life. Ever since then, I just really value taking care of my body and being strong. If you look into the history of Pilates, actually Joseph Pilates created it to help injured people. So definitely look into that more yourself if you want to know the history behind it. But anyway, I've been really into Pilates this year and love it so much. Okay, I feel like this just needs more definition. My camera keeps overheating. My camera overheated while I was painting, and I just kind of gave up on the filming part for the rest of it. So I'm about to show you the final reveal, the parts that I didn't film. Here it is. We have a fun little Luna moth here, this fun moth, and then this guy. He's funky, but I like him a lot. I added this little border around the edges because I just thought it would be fun. I kind of like this piece because it's not really like a planned out piece. I just painted individual things on a page. Honestly, it was kind of like my random sketchbook spreads and I really loved it. I kind of felt really tense when I was painting earlier and I felt like this was the perfect activity to just loosen up and enjoy the process. Oh, look at the rays of sunlight coming inside now. How can you not be happy? Whoa, look at that. I'm gonna try to get out of the sun as much as I can for the end of this. I just wanted to say thank you for hanging out. This was a very spontaneous video. I answered a couple questions, painted a couple random things. And yeah, I just needed another easy but fun week to spice things up because I've been working on a really big painting collection. Oh, I have a really important thing I have forgotten to tell you folks. I changed my upload schedule and it is a very routine, predictable schedule now. But every Friday I will have a new video between 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you get a 2-hour time range, but it's the same day every week. Super predictable. Anyway, see you next Friday. Have a beautiful day. Bye.